Hey YouTube, and welcome to yet another episode of Sports R&P. In today's episode, I want to keep the focus on two things, the NHL and the Barclays Premier League. And of course, at the end of the video, I will announce the winner of the giveaway. So on to the Premier League. For this weekend, we had two massive games with huge implications on the title race. We had Arsenal playing Leicester City and Man City playing Tottenham, which is the top four. Who would have thought that would have been the top four at the beginning of the season? So let's talk about Tottenham versus City first. And I don't really want to go too detailed into this game, but Tottenham won 2-1, massive result for them, and I think that they have now shown themselves as a serious contender for the title. Like, they have beaten all the teams that they needed to, they consistently pull out results, and even here and there they have a bad game, but they normally score in like the last 10 minutes and get that 1-0 win or 2-1 win or whatever it is. And they look like a team that could win the league, which is really surprising. I wouldn't have been able to guess that Tottenham would win the league at the beginning. But at the same time, it's good to see that the Premier League is really competitive this year, which I actually am not sure if it's a lack of quality of the teams or if these guys just got better. But either way, it's been amazing to watch. And Tottenham now second place, 51 points, just 2 points behind Leicester City at the top. That's massive for them. Huge result. Well done to them. We also had Arsenal versus Leicester. And man, this game was so annoying to watch. We had Leicester taking the lead first. Jamie Vardy penalty. It was a clear penalty, no doubt about it. 1-0, great penalty, right in the corner. And they really looked like they were, controlling the game at that point. Then we had the Mahrez penalty shout, which I think probably should have been a penalty. It was still 1-0 at the time. And, it looked like a penalty. Like, what can I say? It looked like a penalty. But unfortunately, it wasn't given. And things just went really bad for them from there. We had Danny Simpson picking up his second yellow card in like 7 minutes or something and getting sent off. And from there on in, Arsenal just completely controlled the game. And I have to say, they played really well. Was it a second yellow? I don't think so. I didn't think that there was enough in there. Like maybe a first yellow, but to get a second yellow and then get sent off, I know it should be equal, but at the same time, refs always, need a little bit more to give that second yellow because it has a huge impact on the game, 10 versus 11. But in this case, it was given and it completely changes the outcome of the game. Theo Walcott scored the first goal off a really good knockdown from Giroud. Brilliant play by him, and it was a very cool finish. And then in the 94th minute, or maybe it was 95th actually, from the guy you would least expect, Danny Welbeck scores the winner to give them all 3 points. Huge result for Arsenal. They're still in the title race. They're only 2 points behind Leicester, which is obviously key. They're tied with Tottenham. They're in third place, but they're tied with Tottenham on points. So it's going to be tough. There's about, I think, 12 games left in the league now. And Leicester only has a 2-point lead, so it's going to be tough. They're going to have to grind results here. From here on in, if they lose and one of these teams win, they lose their spot at the top. So they're going to have to get on a winning streak here. They've played all their tough games, so from here on in, I don't expect them to drop a lot of points. But at the same time, the pressure is really on Ranieri's men right now. So raise your hand if you thought the Leafs would not suck this year. I didn't think anyone would. They have completely delivered on the expectations of being bad. They are 30th in the league right now, behind only Edmonton, of course, who will most definitely win the first pick in the lottery this upcoming year. And so we knew that the Leafs weren't going to make the news this year with their play. It was going to be bad, everyone expected it to be bad, and it has been bad. But they did make the news this past week with a massive trade. They have traded their captain, their star player, Dion Phaneuf. In the trade, the Sens received, of course, the major piece of the trade, Dion Phaneuf. They also got Matt Fran, Casey Bailey, Ryan Rupert, and Cody Donaghy. And in return, the Leafs get Colin Greening, Jared Cowan, Milan Michalek, Tobias Lindbergh, and of course, a second-round draft pick in 2017. Now, this trade tells me a couple of things. First, the Leafs are in it for the long haul. That was definitely the last piece that we had that was anywhere near a top player in the league. And now, we're just left with some good young players and a couple of old players who are sort of just here to fill in the roster. You still got to play your team, right? You got to play the 82 games in the regular season. But it also tells me that the Leafs management is super competent now. Like, we actually have people who know what they're doing, they've picked a direction, and they're following through, which I haven't seen in a long time from the Leafs, to be honest. The Leafs somehow managed to get rid of the David Clarkson contract, which I still can't believe to this day. We traded away Phil Kessel, got a decent return. It wasn't great, I'll admit, but just to move that guy, I thought was very necessary for the dressing room. We have some good young players coming up in the ranks, and to have a personality like his, a little bit lazy, relying on skill and maybe not work ethic, was probably going to be destructive for the younger guys. And then now this Dion Phaneuf trade, and I think that we actually got a pretty decent return. We got a bunch of players, a second round pick in next year's draft, and the key thing, we retained $0 in salary. Huge for the Leafs. Overall, I'd say the Leafs have now solidified their spot as 30th in the league. The Edmonton Oilers are far and away better than the Toronto Maple Leafs, and they are definitely going to pick up more points, especially with Connor McDavid coming back and looking like he's in form already, which is pretty surprising. But yeah, so the Leafs should have the first, well, maybe not. It'll probably be Edmonton winning the first pick, but the Leafs should have the second overall draft pick in next year's draft. And from there on in, really get this rebuild started, and hopefully, within the next 2 years or so, make the playoffs. Look, I realize how sad that is, that I'm celebrating a playoff berth in 2 years from now, but just leave us alone, okay? Please. Like, we've had a rough couple of decades. And now, the moment you've all been waiting for. I know that was bad, but you know what? I'm sorry. Alright, so what we're going to do here, random thing picker. That's the list of all the participants. If you tweeted, your name is there. If you commented on YouTube, your name is there. And if you did both, your name is there twice. So all the power to you. Good luck, everyone. And what I'm going to do simply is press pick 1 3 times, just to sort of randomize it properly. I guess it doesn't really matter, but just for my own sake, I'm going to hit it 3 times. The person whose name is selected on the 3rd time will be the winner. Alright, so let's do this. Number 1. Number 2. Alright, now, whoever shows up on this one is going to win a $20 gift card for Amazon. And in 3, 2, 1. The winner is Zaman Dubé. Congratulations to win the $20 gift card. All you guys do is send me a tweet on Twitter. Just actually DM me. It'll probably be a bit better because we can do this safely. But thank you very much, everyone, for participating. And sorry to all those who lost. Well, thank you guys very much for watching. Congratulations, Zaman Dubé, on winning the $20 Amazon gift card. We'll get in touch. Just send me a DM on Twitter, and we'll get that to you. I'm sorry to all those who lost. We'll definitely be doing these again in the future. So keep watching and keep your eye out for the giveaways again. As usual, all the social media account information is linked in the description below. You should definitely follow those to find out about these giveaways that will happen in the future. And if you would hit that subscribe button, I would really appreciate it. It really helps the channel grow. And of course, as always, just hit that like button. Signing off for Sports RNP, this has been Sharok.